Good morning and happy Friday. Yay, Friday. I'm so excited. It's Friday. Friday is always a great day of the week, right? Because it's the end of the week, but it's the beginning of your social time, hopefully. But it's Friday. So I hope you all have had a blessed and wonderful week. Welcome to the Autopsy of Her Healing, Evolving Resiliency. I am your host, Iris Denise Owens, and on the line with me is my beautiful co-host and sister. Good morning, honey bunny.
Good morning, honey bunny. Stephanie Deani Green. Good morning, everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm listening to you thinking, oh, it's Friday. And I'm like saying, no, post, COVID, that was like, that's my work week started on Thursday. So I work Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I don't know what she's talking about. For most
Well,
people, yeah,
the truth be told, as a realtor or as an
exactly,
entrepreneur,
exactly.
Friday does not mean I'm off. Friday means, like you just
Yeah,
said,
Friday means nothing
Thursday,
to us.
my work week is now starting, right? I'm
Exactly. Friday
working
means
on
nothing to
Saturday. I may be working on Sunday, right?
us.
And when
Exactly.
Monday comes, I might get a day off, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's Friday, but it's still good because
For most
if
people, that's their schedule. For us, it never has been. You know.
exactly, yes, because the truth be told, if you don't kill it, you won't
Hey,
eat it.
you eat.
So
Mhm.
so in any event, we are so happy that you all are joining us today. And so this week we've been having a lot of conversations about a lot of things that we are witnessing and seeing. And so we had this conversation yesterday about levels of exposure, for lack of a better word, right? I'm gonna leave it like that because as we talk, you'll understand what I mean. So our topic today is going to discuss, is it necessary? Is it necessary, you know, for how we express? So is it necessary, how we express our so-called self-esteem? So again, this may be one of those topics where people are going to be like, I can't believe y'all said that. But today there may be some things that cause you to clutch your pearls today. Maybe not. You may be in agreement, you may be in disagreement, but nonetheless, that's where we're going today. That's where we're going to focus today. So
Uh,
this really started, as always, a conversation between Steph and I with regards to how women, because we are women, I can't, but I think society in general has gotten to a point where we do sometimes maybe over expressing, and then we do it in the name of, I'm confident about who I am, I'm secure about who I am. And in order for you to prove that to yourself and to the world, sometimes we do a lot. As we would say, we do the most.
we don't do the most smartest things.
Uh, ah, but we do the most.
And the most
So
of the smartest things.
so the so the question is it necessary to do some of the things that we do in order to express our level of self-confidence or our level of self-esteem or our security of who we are and what we do and what we are thought of by others, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So we'll start with, it's interesting, and we will not call out names, but it is interesting that many individuals, we follow or we base our level of self-confidence on people who are not necessarily in our world. They're not in our realm. Like they're
Mhm.
not, we don't have real relationship with these people, but
No.
we follow, since that's the new thing now, is to follow people. We follow people who are influencers and who have likes and who have, all these people saying, oh my God, they're so amazing and da 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 da. we have seen last year, this year, how some of those influencers and those people who we follow have had their moments of falling apart, falling
Yeah,
apart,
literally.
falling
Hmm.
down,
Hmm.
tripping. And when they tripped, there were some other people who probably tripped over their tripping, if that makes sense, right? Because
Yeah, yeah, sometimes, but I think at the same time with the people that have tripped, the people in the public eye, some people laid the groundwork for the tripping. You know what I mean?
yes,
So it was just there is an opportunity for them to trip because it's like what we do in the society, we build you up to tear you down. So uh,
right,
not as many people trip because people just they wanted you to be down there anyway. So they were already ready to step over you. So they weren't
mm-hmm,
tripping over you, they stepped
mm-hmm,
over you
right,
because they were looking for that opportunity because how dare you? You should not make that much money. How dare you? Who are
right,
you? You know what I
right,
mean? So it's like speaking out of two sides of your mouth. One side of your mouth, you're celebrating them, and the other
right,
side of your mouth, you're like tearing them down. And
right,
it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. And us, with the society that we live in, we don't only tear our people down, you know what I mean? We drag them to the ground until the skin comes off,
mm-hmm,
until there's nothing left, really,
right.
which is really, really sad because where do you come back from there? And it keeps going over and over again. It doesn't stop. And we do take some of our brightest people and just rip them to shreds. And
Well,
it's
would
not
you agree that that's what happens though when we live in the court of public opinion?
absolutely
When
because the thing
so
is that I mean, because it's like it's the ego of just in the world in general and
yes,
how we have been taught to God did not put us here for that. He put us here to love each and every one of us. We're supposed to love each other, not hate each other, not tear each other down.
mm-hmm,
So, but the ego, which is fed every day, all day, has taught like, oh, you have to be the best. In order to be the best, you have to tear these other people down. You know
right.
what I mean? And so that's really the problem. And then you start to feel that because you really shouldn't think about what people feel about you. You should be thinking about what you feel about yourself. But we always want the opinions of other people. We value their opinions. And that I can honestly tell you that's where we go wrong by valuing other people's opinion. So,
Well, I
when
think
you
I'm sorry, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
no, like so when you are celebrated, which is where the word celebrity comes from.
Mm-hmm,
Say you're doing a play. And I watch all those old movies, and nobody wants to look at, because they be waiting for the newspaper to look at the critics, what the critics has said about the play. And that's probably one of the worst things that you could look at because if they say the play wasn't good, you're going to feel bad. This play says it is good, you're going to feel elated. But then the next play you do, or maybe it's 10 critics, and it's five say it's bad, another five says it's good. So where does that leave you? You know, the idea is that you probably need not to look at any of that or don't take any of those things in and just do the best job that you could possibly do.
well, I think so. So I think that's where kind of it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation.
Hmm.
Because for human beings will say, when a person says, I don't really care what other people think about me. So a lot of times when people say that, what we see though from that kind of thought process becomes outlandish behavior, like over the top, outlandish, ridiculous. Sometimes you're just like, wow, what?
Hmm.
Now,
But it's the opposite.
right. And then other times it goes to the other extreme where you're so concerned about what people think about you or what they say about you that you're stifled and you can't you don't know how to get yourself out of that. As you said, with critics, like a restaurant has, food critics come
Mhm,
in. You
mhm,
will, it
mhm,
becomes, this food critic could ruin my whole business, my whole
mhm,
career, my close my restaurant down because if they give a bad review, right? It's the same thing in, again, the court of public opinion. When an artist puts a song out, if that song doesn't go to the charts, the top of the charts, or somewhere near the top of the charts, what happens? The record company typically will say, oh, we're releasing you. We're releasing you from your contract because you didn't deliver. You didn't do what was required or expected of you. And so I think there's a fine line where sometimes we have to find that balance. And I think what we are not doing is finding that balance. And so we either become, starved, or we become overeaters of our own stuff, if that makes sense, right? Meaning we say we don't care. I don't care what people think about me. So if I want to walk down the street naked, if I want to show up with parts of my body that is typically expected to be covered in a public situation where you are around other people, and now I decide I don't give a what you all think. I'm gonna show up with my tatas out, right? I'm gonna show up with my girls out, or I'm gonna show up with my behind out, or I'm gonna show up with, and when I say out, I don't mean, you put on your Wonder Twin bra and your girls are sitting up, or you put on your really nice tight pants or skirt or whatever, and your silhouette. I'm talking there is no silhouette because there's nothing covering. Your behind is out. As a grandmama say, you showing your behind, right? You are literally showing your behind. You are out, you wear something like, remember the year at the awards where who is it? Lil' Kim wore the dress with the pasty, and Donna Ross went over and was like, and Donna Ross went over and like, and people were like, oh my God.
Yeah. But it is. Wait a minute. Or Cher with her costume on. What year was that? 1975.
Yes. Cher. Yeah.
But she had the body to do it, and a lot of people were quite exposed, I believe, at the Grammys this year. Right. And they had those. Everybody had, it's like they had on cover-ups. They had bikinis on. Right. And then they had a cover-up. That's what they look like. Right. Because everything's like everybody. You still should be showing all that at a black tie function to me.
But here's the thing. There is also still the difference between I'm a celebrity, right? And there's different rules. And what I think we're getting into, so a celebrity, like the year Jennifer Lopez wore that green dress with the what? That dress is in a museum, I'm sure, at this point in her life. It's on display. Yeah. Jennifer rocked that dress. And then there were, the lay people who wanted to find that dress and rock that dress. And you wanted to wear that dress to church. You wanted to wear that. You wanted to wear that dress to the family picnic. You wanted to show up in your quote unquote business office with this dress or something, similar to this dress, where those things, like, Sesame Street used to say, which one of these things are not like the other? You are not like that person who wore that dress. Also, you're not in the business of what that person does, right? An award ceremony, when you're in the Hollywood, or you're in Atlanta Hollywood, or New York Hollywood, whatever it is, that's a different lane. Yeah, we're not in that lane.
You have to because
there are expectations of those people in that lane, because it's competition. It is the who wore it best, who showed up better, who sometimes, nobody wants to be seen in the same dress, but when they do show up in the same dress, what do? There's comparison. Who wore it best? Who looked better in it?
Nobody did that better than Joan Rivers. I miss Joan Rivers. And she told it like it was. She wasn't trying to be politically correct. She just was like, look, they look ugly in that dress. Why are you wearing them ugly shoes with that dress? She said that one time.
And you look at someone like a Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, people have for many years They
and she
accuse
really
her
does not care what people think.
and not being attractive. Whoopi Goldberg don't give a damn
No,
what you
she don't.
think about her. She really doesn't. And if
She
she
is definitely
does, and
she's
I'm
one of my
sure
favorite
at
celebrities.
some point in time in her life, because if you think back to Whoopi Goldberg's one woman show, stand-up
Right,
comedian
made her a
show,
star.
you remember that Whoopi Goldberg had a whole skit about wearing towels on her head and wanting to
Yep.
have
White
blonde
towel.
hair and being like a Caucasian woman.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
if you know anything about people and psychology, that stand-up show was Whoopi's real self-esteem, real issues with who she was, where she was, how she looked, how people perceived her, so on and so on. You could go through the plethora of psychological hierarchy with those things. Same thing when you see other comedians, Robin Williams. Most comedians, I hate to tell you this, are bipolar, manic, depressive, or they go, you just got to understand where people are.
A lot of pain behind that.
There's pain behind
I
those
think,
things.
I think you find that. I think you don't find that so much with the Wayans family. It was just so many of them. They goofed off each other, so that's what made them.
And they had to entertain one another, right?
Exactly.
But I do think learning also how to make fun of your situations is a great self-esteem builder.
Yes.
If you think back to, I'll take another person, Monique, in Monique's earlier years when she was
she was so happy being a big girl. I love it.
Exactly. Monique said that her father said to her that she was beautiful, and nothing regarding her weight did not make her not attractive or not beautiful. And she said that she learned from her father to be confident in who she was in her body. And so she said she started making jokes, because when she made the joke about herself and to say, I already know I'm fat, or I already know I'm a big girl, or I know, but I'm beautiful and I'm good with that. She took the power away from people who would come at her and try to deflate her in her self-esteem and her self-confidence. But at the same time, nowadays, I'm not sure if that's what we're doing. I think now we're going
the self-deprecation, but it's like funny that I had a friend, and very, very pretty lady, and she was very heavy. And she used to go at it with like one of her nieces, and it's like, yeah, but you're fat. And she said, yeah, but you're ugly. And she said, I'm beautiful. I could always lose weight.
and so my thing is, it's not, and so body form is something we deal with, right? And nowadays we are into no body shaming. And this is not just in a person who's a full-figured woman. It's
Well, nobody goes through the stages anymore. Like we're at the
right.
stages of where, like this one lady said, I was listening to something the other day, and the lady said to me, she said, now we have all these science projects walking around. And it's true, all these same body shapes. It's like the same thing. My pet peeve, the hair thing. So now it's the hair.
Right.
It's everybody got the same shape face, so they get the same kind of fillers. So it's the hair, the face shape, and they doing the eyebrow sculpting, so everybody's eyebrows look the same too. So it's like all this stuff. Now it's the body, because now when you go to the plastic surgeon, you take a picture of your favorite person that you like the way they look. I want to look like this. I want a body like that. I want a butt like this. I want breasts like that. And that's what they're doing. And what she really said, she said it's like science projects. I was looking at something today. I'm thinking it's Cardi B, because I didn't really look at the face. I looked at the body, but it was Cash Doll. I was like, okay, that looks like Cardi B's body. Like the bodies just look the same. And there's something wrong with that.
Yeah, but in some cases, for younger women, that's
but
their
these
body.
Are these in their 20s.
No, but I'm saying for some of the younger women, that's just their bodies.
No,
right?
no. These bodies have been enhanced. Let's be clear.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't follow.
She talks about her surgeries all the time.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay.
Oh, no, no, no.
So,
Like
so right.
these roles
We've talked
like,
about this before, that people
but
don't
you
go
know,
through the ugly duckling stage
they
anymore
don't.
in life.
But you know who has set the stage for that, which is really kind of sad, is the Kardashians. Because now mostly all these people have the same body shapes that they have. But
Right.
they started the course for that. You know what I mean? Because Nicki Minaj had like a flat butt, and then she did the butt
Right.
enhancements and things of that nature. And it's just like, what happened to, like, what's wrong with having a body like J Lo? You know, I mean, even though it was a big thing, she had a big butt and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it don't seem like her butt's, I mean, that big, but as far as the industry, it was big.
And then
And
but you look at Jennifer, who is now what, 50 something years old,
like
who
52.
who
Mhm.
maintains that body. She's very serious about working out, very serious about what she eats. She does not drink alcohol, right?
Mhm.
She's has a very strict diet, has a very strict workout regimen. Um, I just think
Halle Berry too.
we come to a point in our lives where we're at this point where, as I was saying earlier, this thing about body shaming, it's not about body shaming. Can we get back to what's a healthy body, whatever your body shape is?
Exactly.
That's where
Exactly.
we are missing this whole thing in our self-confidence and our self. I am who I am and I'm good with who I am. It's not it's not that. It is, can we get back to what a healthy body needs and requires in order for you to live out this life that you've been given, right? Mentally and emotionally and physically.
Mhm.
Because when we go through all of these things, that we're altering the face, we're altering our breasts, we're altering our butts, we alter our hair, we put on permanent eyebrows, or we put on permanent lipstick.
It's
I
called
am
permanent
50,
makeup.
I'm 57 years old and I change my makeup every day, right?
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
57 years old and rarely do I wear the same outfits over and over again in a year.
Right.
Just not who I am, right? Now, if it's
Exactly.
something I have favorite, I will wear it again, but I'm not wearing it to the same place again.
Of course not.
And I mentally have it in my head. Oh, you wore that to such and such and such, so we cannot wear that again to such and such and such, right? Now
Uh,
that's my little pet peeve thing. I love
oh
I
yeah.
love
Oh,
I
yeah.
love
Of course.
clothing. I love shoes. I love purses. My self-confidence is, yes, built in what I present to the world, but also what I present to myself, right? I've always
Absolutely.
spoken to myself about how I was beautiful. When I was younger, I was my self-esteem issue was my neck, was that I had rings on my neck, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
most kids that I went to school with did not have this, right? And in my family, there are several other women who we had these rings on our necks, but I would literally not wear my neck out. I
Wow.
would not wear my neck out, and I didn't wear my feet out. So those were my two things. So top and the bottom.
Really? So you have
Yes.
nice feet.
I,
You have
I
nice
didn't
neck.
think so. I didn't think
Uh-huh.
so. And so I would wear turtlenecks all the time. Or I'd always wear something that was buttoned up to my neck, until my godmother one day said to me, she says, women in Africa, they wear these bangles to get these rings, and the rings identifies their level of royalty and their
Mhm.
level of wealth. Oh, well, she only had to tell me that one time, because baby, after that, I was like, oh, wait. Oh,
Here they go.
oh,
Let me show you what
oh.
each and every one of them, right?
Let's show you let me show you what I got going on over here. And then just recently in my life, like last year, I have an affiliate who I work with, who is an African American woman, and her family is they're from Africa, and her mother and her. So one day she saw, and her father, I should say, we were talking on a Zoom. But later on, she called me and she said, no, she asked me to stay on the Zoom call for a minute after everyone was gone. And I said, sure.
Mhm.
And she said, where are you from? And I said, well, according to my family, one side's from Barbados, the other side's from Sierra Leone. She says, I knew it. And I said, why? She said, because you have the cutthroat. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
that's so
what?
cool.
So she starts going into this whole explanation about what this throat, what these rings are in African culture.
Really?
So now you talk about a self-confident boost now, baby. You can.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
So what I'm saying is that we have to learn, we have to get back to where we relish who we are, right? So look at the woman who has a C-section. I
Mhm.
read an article recently about this woman who had had a C-section. And of course, sometimes C-sections don't leave us pretty. They don't. I
Mhm.
had a C-section uh, with my son, and the scar is there. But for what was it, 3 years before that, I had or maybe more than that, but I had an appendectomy. So
Mhm.
now I have two scars. And I
Mhm.
remember after I had the C-section, I said, listen, if we ever have to do it, why don't y'all just put a zipper? So the next time you have to go, you can just zip that thing. Oh, you don't have to do no more cuts. We don't have to leave no more scars, right? But what I learned and what this woman said in this article, which to me was beautiful and a reminder of, it's a scar, but look what that scar brought you.
Exactly.
Your
This is true.
children. It is the journey of childbirth.
It
you
is. It
you
is.
had this child
Right.
came into the world. Thank God they were able to do that, to get your baby out.
That's right. That's
I,
right.
there are so many things that happens to our bodies that we can get into this. We shame our own selves,
Yes, we do. But
right?
like I learned from but Sierra, she calls them beauty marks. Those are your beauty marks. And those
Yes,
are the
they
things that
are.
make you beautiful. And it's like you should not you because once you learn to appreciate these things, and I mean, unless it's horrific for you, why are you trying to remove these things? Like I
Right.
look at like Latifah, she has that scar here, and she is a very beautiful woman to me,
Yes, she
always has
is.
been, and that scar does not make her any less beautiful. And she's like, she could have removed it.
Right.
She's a superstar, but she didn't remove it for whatever her reasons were. And I think she did say, we talked about in the article. I just don't remember all the details of it.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Why do that? You know what I mean? So like, but then I know Nicole Ari Parker, when she first came, I said she had a scar, and she did have it removed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could, if you turn to the right, when she's making a movie, I seen it when she first. People really know who she was,
Right.
but if she turned to hit the right lighting, you could really see it. So
Right.
it worked well for her to remove the scar. But they are your beauty marks. But like
They
my
are.
big thing was, I have my two front teeth. I have dents in my two front teeth. And I tell you, I used to hate those. I used to like that was I'm gonna have caps on my teeth. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. It used to bother me so much. And it's so funny because people say, "Oh, did you have braces?" And I'm like, "No," because they thought that like that.
Yeah,
But
the braces imprinted. Yes.
when I talked to my dentist about it, he said that when my permanent teeth were coming in, I was sick, so they came in abnormal.
Ah,
But it's so weird that I never had anything done with them. Um, and I don't even notice them anymore.
right.
You know, no, I mean, I don't notice them. And some people, oh, you have such a pretty smile. You have pretty teeth. Those are your teeth. Yes, they might. And somebody asked me that a couple of times. I'm like, those teeth, those teeth are perfect.
He's
Who will
like, are
buy
these your teeth? Yes,
them?
they are mine. And
Yes,
even if
who
they
would buy
weren't,
teeth?
I'm not going to tell you that because I paid for them. They would still be mine.
Exactly. And that's a whole nother thing. It's like when I get it, I do personally think that probably one of the things you definitely should do once you get money is fix your teeth if they're having some issues. But then people are just doing things to their teeth that you don't even need to do things to your teeth, because it loses when you're, especially when you're an actor, and loses the authenticity of some of the roles you play when everybody has all this perfect things. You know what I mean? Certain things I think make sense,
Hmm.
because healthy teeth means you have bad teeth, you have bad heart, at least a whole many different the other issues.
Right.
But some of the things that we're going at is like, wow, it's crazy. And really, it's like you were saying about, when people are confident and they're showing their bodies and everything of that nature, they're really not confident,
No, they're not.
because
They're
it's
hiding, they're hiding behind their insecurities and whatever those may be. And
exactly.
so if I keep giving you shock factor, that's what you
That's
focus
what it
on.
is. Uh-huh.
That's what
That's
you
right.
focus on. And then then there are those of us who then take that from that person and go, oh, that's what being self-confident is. I can do that. I
Yeah.
can I can walk out with no clothes on and just be that person and do. I always say, I've always been confident about who I am. Even when I didn't like showing, I've always been confident about who I am. Never been afraid to be Iris Denise Holmes Owens ever in my
I hear
entire
you on
life.
that one.
Okay? Never been afraid. I love to sing.
She has a beautiful voice. This girl,
Thank
and
you.
it's like, but I didn't realize you could sing until like 5 years ago when you sang to me on my birthday. And I was like, girl, you never told me you could sing. By the time we have been knowing each other for over 20 years, I was
Yes. Yes. I do love to sing. But I always look at it that I'm not a singer. I love to sing. I love music. I know a lot of songs. I know the words, I know the lyrics. I love to sing. I love music.
if you had worked on doing that, you would be great. I
Yes.
mean, if you had enhanced, went to a voice trainer, that's
Yes.
just natural for you.
Yes. But my point is that I always say God didn't give me the melodic voice that I would love to have. Like a Mary J. or an Aretha Franklin or a
Mariah Carey,
Shaka Khan or a
Whitney
Whitney
Houston,
Houston. Oh Lord. You know why?
I miss
Because
her.
God knew this overconfident fool right here. Erica Badu would have had nothing on me because I'd have been walking down the street naked singing all the time. See, and this was before Erica Badu ever came on the scene. I'm just trying to tell you, when you are confident about who you are confident from day one, right? You are confident from day one in who you are. But we all have these scars, or we all have these things about ourselves that
Beauty marks.
beauty marks. Well, yes, beauty marks, not scars, beauty marks.
Exactly.
And we all have things about our bodies. Like, okay, when you get in your 30s, right? And that teenage stage, high school, and those 20s, right on up to those 30s, oh my God, the body is banging, right? Your body is banging. You are confident. You will put on a too tight pair of jeans because you want everything to be accentuated, right? You want everything to be seen, right? Then we get in our 40s and our 50s and our 60s and keep going. And then we become very, I don't want nobody to see that. Then we start dressing like little moo girls. Like
a frumpy.
You got the high collar, you got this thing all the way up to your neck. The top is ballooned out over here.
It could be high collared, but it has to be.
But it needs to be shapely, right? Because you still have something to show.
Yes.
The one thing I think we are losing, because I think that's why I've been a classic vintage type dresser, because the one thing I love about 50, 60, 30s, 40 dressing, it was classy. It was classy. It was tailored. It was A-line. It was streamed. It was perfectly fitted to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you walked into a room, a woman looked regal. I don't care if she out. And think about it. Women didn't even have color then. It was black, gray, or brown, if we got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they walked into a room, they owned it. They snatched it. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, we wear stuff that people want to snatch it off of you, right? Because we don't dress for who we are. who we stand for, who we believe ourselves to be.
And we
We
don't dress for
dress in whatever some fatty fashion designer said,
our
this is what's hot this year. And then we walk out looking like a hot mess.
Because everything is not for everybody.
Everybody. And I don't care what your body type is. Right.
Like everybody should have their leggings. Leggings aren't for everybody.
Yes, leggings aren't for everybody. Booty shorts aren't for everybody. No, sometimes a long dress is not for everybody. If you are a short-statured individual, right, where you have a short torso, a long dress makes you look like you're ghostly. You're not seen, because all people see is this draping on a body, right? One of the things we don't do, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on clothing. You just need to spend the right amount of money on the clothing that accentuates you. And you don't have to be naked to be sexy or to be self-confident.
Not at
you know,
all.
Someone said to me the other day that they're Hindu, and they were saying that when they used to fly, because they used to work for Delta, that when the men and the women fly, the men sit in first class and the women sit, in coach, or sometimes depending on the plane going, like if you're going overseas, then they're upstairs. And so she was explaining to me how, all the women came on full dress, just eyes showing, hijab on, everything, just full dress, right? She said, but once they got upstairs to their area and they locked that little door, right? And the pilot was up there, and they took off all these beautiful women with all their makeup, and they're laughing and drinking. And she said the pilot came out and was like, oh my God, like she was like, no, you go back in there. Go back and close that door and don't come back out here. That's what I'm saying. Beauty is not just makeup. Beauty is who we are, the inner spirit of who we are, right? And when you have that level of self-confidence, that's what exudes out of you. Exactly. It exudes. Like you walk into the room and the people go,
who's that?
Who's that?
Who's that?
Who's that? And I want you to be clear about this.
And reality is not the most, like aesthetically what people think good looking. It's not that person that walks in the room. It's your confidence.
Yes, it is.
Each and every time, where everybody wants to know who's that.
Yes.
That's just what it is.
Yes. Yeah. And I want you to know your self-confidence, another thing, not based on how men see you. Because the men are not your competition. Just imagine if you think about yourself and you think about the circles of people you are in, right? There are some of us who, again, even when you walk into a room of women, when women start to roll their eyes at you, it's not because they hate you. They just go, oh my God, like for real? Like my best friend, my sister, 65, she rocks it. We went somewhere a couple of weeks ago. She shows up with one sleeve, little circle, other sleeve, other arm out, black, with some faux leather shorts that tie around the waist, and some clear stilettos that tie around the ankles. I just walked in and went, damn. Because I was like, I thought we were casual. This is the same one who showed up casual a couple months ago with a fur coat and a velvet jumper suit on, and patent leather booties. I love her because she exudes class. She exudes class. She exudes self-confidence. But she is 65 and she is fine as wine. And she doesn't show up places, trying to dress in a way that is not her. And that's what we have to be. Find your style. Find your comfort place. Find that thing that exudes who you are, right? And sometimes that's not what's on the rack. Sometimes that's not what's in fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to know your colors. That's
Mm-hmm.
important. Steph and I both, Steph's a style coach. I've said too, I could style people. I haven't, but I could
Absolutely.
style people. But you got to know your colors. You got to
That's
know
right.
what looks good on you.
You have to know your body type, your body shape.
Exactly. And when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to our bodies, we all could get to a point where, as we get older, right? Because you mourn the loss of your youth. You do. Because you remember when you were a 2, in Steph's case, a 0, size 0, right? Me, 4,
There
6.
one time. Yeah.
Yeah,
After
4,
I had
6,
kids,
right?
like a two.
Right. But then we get older. Life takes over. We have babies, or you don't have babies. Gravity takes over. Whatever. Life
I
is
don't think everybody
changing.
mourns their body. I think that like my sister, because she was so tiny, and she likes, like now that she has some hips and stuff like that. And I
Yes.
know a lot of people that are like that. Like I mean, I'm not mourning my body. Like now I'm a size 4.
Right.
I'm not mourning my body, but it's just, well, right now, to be honest with you, now that I'm going to be having this surgery, kind of my mind, like, what's my body going to go back to? Like I'm kind of like, because I'm okay being a size 4,
Right.
you know, hips, I even gained more, breasts too. I realized I gained a little weight in my breasts, but I never, it was what it was. I seen a picture of myself. I was taking my kids to school. I'm like 41, 42 years old. And I was like, wow. But I looked at it scrawny, but when you saw it was his muscles, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But so I could have used a little weight, but I think I only feel like a difference when I get on the scale, because I've always been like 120 something. And now to be like 142, like I was 142 at my 9th month of pregnancy. How that happen? You know what I'm saying? As I said, like, and when you like now I got new doctors, so they don't know. They're like, well, that's a good weight. You're 5'5",
Right.
142, you're size 4. What's wrong with that? I said, well, I've never been in that size. That I never weighed that much before.
Right.
And so that's what's more different than me. But and then working like certain things, but I've always been the type of person, certain things I will not wear. And I
Right.
am conscious of how, no matter, like my daughter will, when I first was getting divorced, I went shopping with my daughter, and she's like, oh, she had all these little dresses. I call them little whore dresses, the little tight dresses. And I was like, mommy can't wear those, honey. And so she was like, oh, mommy, you could, just because your body says you can wear it, don't mean that you should.
Right.
Okay. Because
Right.
at this point, I'm in my 50s. I know how old I am. You know what I mean? So you have to be somewhat conscious. Like I love, a pair of shorts and some high heels. I think that's hot. And
Yes.
I'm going to be rocking that look, but they're going to
Yes.
be Bermuda shorts. They're not going to be
Yes.
poom poom shorts, which I never would have worn anyway.
Right.
But they're going to be shorts that look, I mean, I can honestly say the way that both of us dress, and your girlfriend too, most people in that age bracket don't dress like that. They'll still say, oh, you trying to dress young. No, I'm trying to dress for my personality and for who I am.
Yes.
Because
Right.
that's why I became a designer, because I didn't want to look like everybody else. I always had to have something different. I refuse to look like other people. And so it's like my clothes can be shocking to people. Like I can never wear that. I can and feel very comfortable in
Right.
it.
I can.
I'm not doing it for
Yeah.
you. I'm doing it for me, or whatever, or like I could never go blonde like that in a real world. Well, hey,
Right.
that's what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get bored. I like to change up different things, but you have to do those things for you. When you do them you could tell when a person does it for themselves or when they're doing it because they want the attention of other people. It's a difference because they don't, it's just not natural. They walk into a room and they want everybody to say, oh, and they feel uncomfortable. They try to wear these 6-inch heels and they can't wear 6-inch heels.
Yeah.
You got to wear, because when you wear what's for you and what works for you, you exude a type of confidence that you can walk in a pair of sneakers, and
And
because
it's
they
still,
wear,
yes.
you still have it. People are gonna still look like, oh, who's that? Because of your confidence and everything of that nature. But you have to do it for you. You really do, and
Yes.
love you.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Self-confidence is important. It's
Oh, it's so important. It's
self-esteem,
so important.
and if you're struggling with your self-esteem or struggling with your self-confidence, then take a moment to do a self-confidence, self-esteem inventory for yourself. Start with
Mhm.
just you and you, yourself, and I, as one would say,
Exactly.
right?
That's right.
Write
That's right.
write down what you feel you're struggling with, right? Write down where you feel you are super confident.
Hmm.
Then write down where you think you question, right?
Hmm.
Then write down where you just feel, oh my God, I just don't have this part. And then you need to then strategically figure out, if I'm missing these things, are these things that I can work on to improve?
Hmm.
Are there things that can help me get to that point? Or are these things that maybe I just can't? Like maybe I just can't. And we like to say, there's sometimes we say can't is not a word, or it shouldn't be a word.
Hmm.
So if can't is not a word for you, then what's your solution and what's your path to getting out of that place where you may feel you don't have something or you're lacking in something, right? Because that's what we do. Every day is a new day, and every day is an opportunity to learn and to grow.
Because yesterday died last night.
It
Yes,
sure
yes, yes,
did,
yes.
right?
And I think what you should do also, you should get in the mirror totally naked. Nothing on, no makeup on,
I was
no
going
clothes.
there. Come on, bring it,
And,
bring it.
and just assess yourself. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? And like assess your shape, your body, as our bodies do change as we get older, and
Yes,
and go through your wardrobe. Is this still working for me now? You know what I mean? What now new type of undergarments do I need so this will
yes,
look proper on my body? You
yes,
know, what do I need to do, for my face? You know what I mean? Because we get older, our eyebrows thin, things of that nature, you know. I mean, some people do really well with the permanent thing, but you can also do nice with an eyebrow pencil, which I
right.
absolutely love. And we were born with an eyebrows, all me and my siblings, my
So
mom.
was I.
You know,
I don't
so,
have those
so
things.
exactly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. We all enhance, but like the same time, nobody wants to go to bed with, Janet Jackson, wake up with Freddie Jackson. So you want to, then nobody, they don't, you know what I'm saying? So you want to,
Wait, you
you
said nobody wants to go to bed with Janet Jackson and wake up with Freddie?
exactly. One mentor says all
Okay.
the time, but it's true. You know what I mean? Because by the time you don't ripped all the, I mean, so much stuff that you just don't look like the same person. You know what I'm saying? So no, nobody
Okay.
wants, nobody wants
That
that.
that was your Friday funny. Okay. I love that though. But it's true. But
But it's
also, when you wake up in the morning, you should wake up in the morning. I love Mary J. Blige, and Mary J. Blige makes music that's always appropriate. And when I tell you, like when she made feel so good, you know, everybody that became an anthem. But now this Good Morning Gorgeous song, oh my God, it is, it's the thing that we should always do. Wake up in the morning and be thankful first for a new day, but just look at yourself and go, good morning, gorgeous. Right?
Wait a minute. I love Mary J. I love her music. I think the woman's beautiful. Um, I do not like her outfits. I do not like the way she dresses. Was like what she did with the Super Bowl. That outfit was, and I'd be like, what I want for her, and she knows. She's like, they said, "What'd you wear?" Because I watch on her interview. She said, I was ghetto fabulous. She knows it, but it's like, even if you want to wear those type of booty shorts, I was like, go wherever Beyonce gets her things made. Go have them made for you. You know what I mean? That they fit like Beyonce's fit is they made for your body. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't fitted properly. They were loose. She loves her thigh high boots. She had the cap. I was like, okay, love the performance, love Mary, but not, most of the time, sometimes, but most of the time, the way she dresses, for me, I feel she could dress so much better. She just needs to tighten it up a little bit, have it tailor made for her body, and that would make all the difference in the world. And so I want her. the way she looks to match her beautiful music. Like Hello Gorgeous, like I want her to be like just on point. You know what I mean? Because she has
Well,
everything that's
but
beautiful.
she is on point according to who her persona is as a artist. See,
Yeah.
that's what when we started this, that's what we were talking about. What
I
her
don't know.
persona
I
is
think
as
that
an artist is one thing, right? Mary, I mean, because we've seen Mary in a gown, we've seen Mary come out with some fabulous outfits, and
oh yeah,
again,
oh yes, yes. I've seen
I
her in
think,
gals, I've seen her and
it
stuff like
is
that.
her
But
persona has, she's always lived up to. Mary has always been like Jennifer is, Jenny from the block. Well, Mary is from the round the way girl, right? The round the way girl who has come up all the way, right? And continues to come up all the
is that
way.
is that
That's where we started with this. And so that's what I'm saying about your
I'm just
level
saying
of
but she
self-confidence
can
and
wear that.
self-esteem.
But not
Hmm?
that I think she could wear whatever, but it just never fits properly. She
Oh,
could wear it. That's what I'm saying. That's her fit. Like we were talking
yes.
about how Beyonce's clothes
Yo,
fit,
yeah, Beyonce's clothes are always on point.
but they fit. You know what I mean? Like if she wear the things that she wears, not that she can't. She has a beautiful body. Not that she cannot wear it. It's just
Yes,
I don't want gapes and gaps and stuff like that. It needs to fit better. That's all.
yes,
I mean, I have enough thigh high boots to love them. I love thigh high boots. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying let's make it fit properly. That's all I'm
yes,
saying. You know
right.
what I mean? Because she has the body and everything else for it. I think the fit when she wears those costumes that she does, they don't always fit properly for
Got you.
whatever reason. That's what I'm talking about.
So
Yeah.
I think takeaway from today would be, you know, be you. Seriously, be
Mm,
you, right?
yeah. Seriously, be you
Seriously, be you, but be the best version of you, right?
every single day.
And as we've always been told, clothes don't make you. You make the
You
clothes.
make the clothes, girlfriend.
Clothes don't make you. Because it's interesting. People will think, well, if I spend $10,000 on this dress,
Mm-mm.
then I'm the now you $10,000 broke.
And if you don't
And
know how
what
to
are you
put that
gonna do with
shit
that
out
dress
all
again?
together, you still gonna look a hot mess.
Right.
Because I know so much people
So,
wear expensive clothes, they look a hot mess.
right. Self-care. Let's start there. Self-care. Really taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Let's start there. Because when you feel good about your outer being, or no, let's go backwards. When you feel good on your inner being, it
Mm-hmm.
glows on your outer being.
It exudes. It
It
does. It really does.
exudes, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
walk in with a paper bag on and you still would be, show up. The star will just, like as they say in Saturday Night Live, you're a superstar. You know,
Oh, you the book, right? Molly Shannon.
yes, superstar. I love that. I
But
love
I
that
mean,
character.
why is she talking about what's the name from Different Strokes? Like leave Gary Coleman alone.
Oh, well, I
You know.
just think we need to focus on your level of self-esteem, and your self-confidence does not come from the clothes you wear,
It
right?
doesn't. Not at
It does
all.
not. It comes from your inner being. And so if you feel that you're struggling with something, or you're having a moment with yourself, then deal with it. Like Steph said,
Absolutely.
look
Deal
in
with
the
it.
mirror, be vulnerable with oneself in the
Mhm.
mirror. Strip down in front of oneself, in front of the mirror. Get naked for real.
Mhm.
She's right. I've been
Mhm.
doing that for years. So it's
Me
not a
too.
new thing for me.
I do
But
it every day.
you discover things about yourself that you may not have known. Just be like, oh, I didn't know I had that dimple right there. Oh, wait, hold on.
You know something different every day.
And it's just like, and something else I want to throw in here. For many people don't know. I used to own a lingerie company. And I remember when I would tell women about buying lingerie. And so many women, my husband don't like lingerie. That's not true. He just accepts you coming to bed with that t-shirt that you have had since 3
You were
kids
in
ago.
college.
and whatever, or those onesie pajamas, or whatever, the
Once
pajamas that
pajamas,
are supposed
even once
supposed to be fuzzy, and there's no more material on it. So no, he doesn't like it. He just accepts it because he don't want to fight with you about what you come to bed in. Okay. But I want you to understand, lingerie is not for the man.
Oh no.
Lingerie, I want you all, if you don't own lingerie, I want you to buy some. Lingerie is one of the best self-confidence builders. And I'm going to tell you how you do it. Buy yourself beautiful lingerie, and then wear that lingerie during the day under your day clothing, right? Because now you got a different pep in your step. Because underneath, man, I'm so hot, silky chocolate under here. And it's not for anybody else. It's for you.
Exactly.
Lingerie is a self-confident builder.
Oh, yes. It's true.
Yes. If you get in the mirror and you put your lingerie on, you put your pearls on, and you strut around in your high heel shoes, and you practice. Remember when you were a little girl and you learned how to walk in high heel shoes? You need to have those moments with yourself, honey. You do. You need to have those moments. That is one of the best self-confidence, is to be vulnerable with oneself. Be naked before oneself, and you learn to appreciate who you are as a being, the body that you're in, because you can't step outside. Well, you can step outside.
You can, but you shouldn't. Okay,
but you should. Well, you should
go to the store to get your Amazon packages, and you go out like at the door. But that's as far as you can go. Or you may run to the mailbox if it's not attached to your house, and maybe on the curb. But something like that. But other than that, no. I mean, I know some people, but you know what you can do, which I think I respect. If you're running late to get the kids to school, throw your mink coat on over that bad boy,
See?
and the kids get out in a circle, so you don't have to get out the car. Right. So you got your mink coat on. Nobody know. You throw your shades on, honey. That's it.
Yes. There you go, superstar in the car. In the morning drop-off line.
And then on your way back home, you stop by, you go through the drive-thru of Starbucks, get your coffee, and come back home and get ready.
See, I'm telling you, self-confidence is a thing that one can do. We all have it within us. You just got to find what it is that boosts you.
And then, the other thing is, if your husband has a private office, instead of going home after you get your coffee, you stop by his office. And just just open up your door.
Steph's starting stuff now. That's a whole nother show. That's called Get Your Sexy Back.
Yeah. That's what you and your husband, like, hey, honey, I want to show you something. You're like, what?
What? Ta-da!
I'll see you tonight.
Like Steph, listen, I'm going to give you this last tip, and this one's for free. I just want you to know. Like, when I sold shoes, right? I managed a DSW years ago. And there would be women, we always come in the store. Oh my God, my husband's gonna kill me if I buy these shoes. I'm gonna have to sneak him in the house. I said, honey, just wear the shoes. No, you don't understand.
Wear the shoes.
Honey, just wear the shoes. Huh? Just wear the shoes. Oh, yes. I said, I promise you, you'll be back. He's going to send you to buy a few more pair of shoes. See?
So,
you got to be your own self-confident. You got to be your own self-confident builder.
It's so true. And the best time to wear the shoes is just wear the shoes and you start cooking breakfast or dinner with just the shoes. Because it's between the shoes, you, and the food.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
What she said. See, she said what she said. So they don't know. So we've given you all some nice little tidbits for the weekend. Coming up on the weekend, the kids are away.
Grown folk.
The kids are gone. You an empty nester, or the kids hanging out. with their friends. Listen, plan some
Mhm.
self-confident show me time.
Exactly.
Get it in.
Exactly.
See,
Yeah.
that's where, if you want to show your level of self-confidence and you want to see how confident you are, do it at the house. Do it
Now
at the
that's
house.
the truth. Keep
So
your
we
pride.
hope, yeah,
Keep your pride.
right. Private dancer, like Tina Turner said, private dancer.
I'm your private dancer. You
Yes.
know.
So we thank you all so much. I think this has just been a great conversation today.
It has. It has. It's been a
Listen,
very sexy, grown
yes,
conversation.
grown folk conversation. I may have to go pull out some lingerie and strut in the mirror today myself.
I
Just
have my beautiful lingerie on under this, my beautiful
see,
fuchsia pink bra and my
see,
panties.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We don't just talk about the things we tell y'all. We live it. We live it every day. So
That's
this is
good.
why we're confident about what we're saying. So
And always
back
get new
to,
panties, ladies. Just get new panties. Keep new panties. Get new
yeah,
panties. Get rid of new
that's
panties. Change panties often.
so, if, like we said earlier, is it necessary? Is it necessary? Dot, dot, dot. Is it necessary for us to express our so-called self-confidence? The answer is yes. It's just a matter in how and where you're expressing it. So we hope
Mhm.
that you all have a wonderful weekend. Have a joyful. I think the weather's going to be beautiful all around. I hope for everyone around the world.
I know it's here today, and I think it's gonna be beautiful tomorrow. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes. So
Yes, yes.
enjoy the weekend. Steph, your final comments?
My final comments is like, have a good weekend and just enjoy your life. Life is good. I'm telling you, life is really, really good. And it's your perception, is how you look at it.
Yes.
And don't, like, if that, whatever that is that you're watching, listening to, that makes you feel bad, stop watching and listening to it.
Right.
Let's be clear, because
Absolutely.
that means, what that tells you, that your soul, your spirit is not connecting with that. So you need to leave it alone. You need to try to uplift yourself. Like, we know things happen, horrible things happen each and every day in the world. Things are happening, but we do not have to focus on those things. We can
Yes.
focus. He's like, it's about knowing, but not focusing in it, not living in it. Just all you do is you say a prayer and think happy things and happy thoughts, and look at happy things that make you feel good. Think about things that make you feel good, because you will do better. You being unhappy with all the unhappy things doesn't make them any better.
Yes.
We
Yes.
need to bring high vibrations to the world. So we need to keep our vibrations as high as possible and have a
Absolutely.
good weekend.
Absolutely. So again, we thank you all so much. You can find us both on Spotify, on Apple, on RSS, I think it is. There are several. We are on like six different platforms where you can listen to us. And of course, on YouTube, you can check us out for the autopsy of her. And then on Anchor, you can go to Anchor and find us as well. You can find me at idolovecoaching@gmail.com. And Steph.
And you can find me at mymentor.life. I'm a style coach and a divorce coach.
Yeah. And also, guys, we have another way that you're going to be able to get in touch with us soon, which is our new website that you'll also be able to come make comments. You can also listen to episodes and hear them again on another platform. So we are, we're growing and we're expanding, and we thank you all for supporting us so much. So have a great weekend. Be blessed. Live life. Walk in confidence. We love you.
Have a good
Bye, honey
weekend.
bunny.
Bye, buddy.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Oh, see, now you're gonna make me do that. Okay, let me do it right.
I was trying to
Love you.
love you, honey.
Oh my God.